What's up guys, Chris here, back again with another market video on the channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how you could potentially make some coins over this promo and just kind of showing you guys what we already know. So before we get into the video today, if you guys can, drop a like on the video. Let's hit 100 likes, that would be awesome. And subscribe if you're new around here. All of my links for my Twitter, my Discord, my Twitch will be in the description. Let's get into the video, obviously. Now, I'll show you guys the loading screen real quick. But it's looking like the icon swaps for tomorrow, which is really huge because it's a big thing about this game right now. Icon swaps, there's going to be 6 icons, and the rest of it's going to be pack rewards. So we don't know yet whether or not EA is going to allow us to play for all of the tokens right away. I believe they're going to probably do the same thing as they did last year, where it's kind of like over time they'll probably release more. But that's kind of like my initial thought. Here's some of the pack code that we're actually seeing from FUTWatch. And this is what I was kind of sensing was going to happen. Base and middle icon pack, prime icon pack, middle icon pack, right? We already have like a lot of these icon type packs. 85 plus rare players pack, guarantees 5 rare golds over 85. And then they corrected it, but it was originally 25 rare golds over 85 rated. They've changed that to 83. So we're going to be getting a lot of these packs. Now, what I can show you guys with the market index for icons is it's kind of like along the same lines, right? It's, it was 89 before rewards or during rewards. It went up to 91.7. It then is now, pretty much around 90.6. And can you see a little bit of panic in the morning time before 6 p.m. tomorrow? You obviously can. That's going to be my main focus on is definitely icons tomorrow. Because what's going to happen is I think a lot of people that just haven't really bought icons, in particular, a guy like Puskas here, right? Now, he's obviously a 92 overall. He's 2.2 million. This guy has dropped 500k in the last week. Now, obviously, people want to use these icons still. So I think that if their icon that they put in is not actually the one that is put in, they'll go buy back. So I can see them bringing out, or I could see them definitely panic buying back their icons. And that's why I think you guys definitely should buy before 6 p.m. That's what I'm going to do. It works every single week. Even last week in a market that didn't really rise after 6 p.m., the icon market still did okay for me. And I still was able to get some deals on the market. So I would say really be looking out tomorrow before 6 p.m. and just genuinely see what sort of panic we get on the market and then judge for yourself what you want to do in terms of buying some of these cards. All you need to look at really is just kind of go to the PGP page and just see some of the most used icons. Now, I will say though, the guys that are going to get in to icon swaps, the 6 ones that are going to get in, they'll probably drop initially, and depending on how many swaps it takes to get them, they may go up right again, or they might just stay low. It just depends on how the tokens are distributed. It depends on how fast you can complete them, and that's really it pretty much when it comes to icons. I'm going to be looking, SCing as somebody that is rumored to be getting one of the swaps. Now, that's just my prediction. I saw a couple of him where I believe he fits the requirement of 87 physical, which is obviously on the front page. This is a screenshot I took from the stream earlier. But 87 physical here, 90 shooting here, 90 defending. We don't really know for a fact what's going to be coming out yet, but he does get that 87 shooting. So I'm interested because this guy has definitely dropped since the SBC or the loading screen has really come out. This guy was 1.36 today, so he was kind of on his way up a little bit. He's now down to 960. So if I see this around 900 tomorrow and he doesn't get in, well, you can expect him to go up over 1 mil. And definitely people will panic buy icons back, in my opinion. So that's the majority of my coins is what's going to go into tomorrow is definitely icons. Another thing you guys can capitalize on tomorrow morning is definitely some out-of-pack specials, and just kind of sense where the market is. For example, a guy like Van Aanholt here has done pretty well actually since he's been out of packs. The last kind of day or two, he's up like 30k. I would say for you, if you find this again back in like the 220s, right? That's something to look at. Now, we obviously are going to be getting a freeze team. So the only little risk that you have in buying cards before 6 p.m. in terms of the specials, the out-of-pack cards, you do have a freeze team coming in the packs that there could be a substitute that you buy, unfortunately, and it may drop in price. But there's a low risk in that because EA is probably going to put like 11 players in packs. They're not going to go like a full 18-man team, I don't think. So just kind of see where some of these guys have been today. Where have they risen to? And if they drop back down tomorrow before 6 p.m., that could be an opportunity for you guys to buy into some of those cards. I'd probably look at some of the ones to watches. They're usually buys before their games on the weekend. Some of the hyped up ones still. I know ones to watch is kind of dead sometimes, but Rodrigo still goes up a little bit. Havertz, Sane, those are kind of some of them that are decent. Then you've got, Bale, Werner, Ziyech, Telles possibly, and Suarez. Those are the guys that I'd probably just noticing if there is some, panic on those cards to just add up packs and stuff like that. Any special that did go up today, regardless, just take a look and see where they're at. Like, for example, like this Valverde card, for me, is one of those guys that are going to get a Sterling to Beckham. Remember, we are going to be getting David Beckham pretty soon. I think it's going to be on the 15th. If I take a look right here, right, it's a Real Madrid card. So I think strong links to this guy are going to go up a decent amount, and I think one of them is going to be this card. He's a very good center mid in the game as well. If this drops into like the 230s, this is somebody that I like, just not even just to recover on Friday, but also to sell even onto like Tuesday or Wednesday. You don't have to buy link investments until Saturday or Sunday on sell-off if you don't want to, but that's something to definitely look at. Now, there is going to be a point on, I think, Saturday where these guys just get too low. Whether it's going to be before the content drop on Saturday or during the content when we get our second set of lightning rounds, you will be able to buy some of these cards and they might be at their lowest point. If you look at Team Elite cards in general, they normally hit their lowest on Saturdays, whether it's during the daytime or at night. And that's just because I think a lot of people, it's just a second supply possibly, right? So he was 111 on Saturday, and then, he went to 117 by Tuesday, but you could have sold him at 122, 123, and you could have got this guy like 105K. Like, just kind of take a look at some of these Team Week cards. Where's Team Week 11? Like Zaha for me would be one of those cards that if he does drop a decent amount because of all the pack supply we get over the weekend, that's a guy that I like because he's already shown he can rise a lot after awards and marquee matchup supply that he can go back up. Milinkovic is another one I'm looking at. Cuadrado is another one. And I like this Trippier as well. I do like Trippier. Again, he gets a strong link to that Beckham card. It's not a good card at all, but I do think people will buy into that because of the link. So definitely take a look at some of those team weeks on the Saturday. In regards to on Friday, what do you guys potentially do to make some coins? Well, we actually just got our another League SBCs. So now we have Syria, Ligue 1, the Saudi League, and MLS. Okay, we have Syria now, and then the Libertadores stuff has come back as well. Now, for the Syria, it is pretty dead. You do get a 100k pack for completing it, but all of the good packs are pretty much untradeable. But that's not going to stop people from actually going and doing the packs. And silvers during the weekends are usually pretty good to trade with because a lot of cards are needed for those SBCs, and people like to stack packs. Regardless if they're untradeable or not, people want to try out the new cards in the promo team, and they're going to, pretty much be packable because they're in packs, obviously. So kind of, just do this silver train that we showed you guys in one of our videos, but just go basic and just kind of see where the cheapest silver in Serie A is. Right now, it's 700 coins. So all you need to do really is just snipe underneath this. And again, silvers aren't going to get any supply today for the most part because the lightning rounds are going to consist of 50Ks, 100Ks, and 125s. So that's going to be an opportunity for you guys to get on League on silvers. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing silvers today. I think a lot of the focus is going to be towards the icons, out-of-pack specials, and just stuff like that is probably where you're going to be looking at. So trading with these silvers is definitely going to be a really good way to make some coins. I don't know how much attention is actually going to be on them. Another thing you guys can look at doing today is obviously trading with icons. Now, what I like to do is I like to buy a lot of icons before 6 p.m. or around that time, because usually we see the market rise at 7 p.m. and onwards, usually after that second lightning round. So I can go basic here, or I can create some filters myself where I put like Argentina, right? And I put whatever budget I want to put in here. And I just go to the 59 minute and I try to find some deals on icons, with a certain nationality, with a certain position. I would really recommend, if you guys want to take a look at the companion app and the web app, okay? Those are two really good ways to trade with icons, especially during promos. And again, a lot of people are going to be opening up packs tomorrow, whether they have their safe packs as well. You're going to be able to see a lot of icon deals tomorrow, especially because once we see swaps, I do think you're going to see people buy back. Because again, I mean, we've seen some crazy just, sell off. I mean, I was looking at this guy, Lothar Mateus, today, and this guy is just dumb cheap. This guy is, he was 2.605. He then drops all the way down to like 2.2. Like, how much lower can this guy really go for this week in particular? So I do think a lot of people are going to buy back some icons. There is qualifiers this weekend as well, but you should see some icons, especially the top tiers, get bought back a little bit once they are confirmed that they're not in, icon swaps today. So icons is one of my main looks. Out of pack specials, another main look. Look for teams that are kind of rare at the moment. Rule breakers is one of my best ones to do. You see a Laporte drop in price, maybe like the 510, 515. Take a look at some of the record breakers. If they drop in price, right? Just kind of see some of the graphs. Where have they gone to today to begin with, and what have they dropped off to in the afternoon, mid-afternoon tomorrow. This actually looks like that was an undercut, but it looks like he was 574. He went all the way to like 595 today. So this would be an opportunity for me, because Fuppin is catching a mishap here. I'd be able to look at him at like 530, and I probably would be able to get 580 for this. And as long as the freeze item, the freeze team, does not contain a French center back that is, very OP like Laporte, and gets the links that he gets, you should see this guy rebound later on the nighttime. So that's going to be very interesting. Yeah, he's up at 586 right now. Now, another thing I'd be looking at today would be probably, we're going to get a SBC, and we're mostly going to get an objective today, for the most part. So we're going to get some sort of freeze objective. And we are going to be getting ourselves like one SBC per day probably. So I think SBC Fodder is not a bad time to look. Some of the 82s, if you want to club stock some of the good nationalities, left backs, right backs, center backs, CDMs, you can do that during lightning rounds today if you want, or you buy beforehand. 83s at 1K are solid for me. 85s in the low 8s is really good. 86s at like 15K, 14, and 87s around 21, 22. I think in a market like this, which is going to be SBC heavy, I do think you're going to see fodder rise at some point during this promo. So I would probably look at SBC fodder for sure. Kind of look at some of the price I just showed you. And another thing I'd be looking at today would be, and I almost just lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think. Oh, the objective. Every single time we get an objective, people go and panic buy those cards. So we got a Silver Stars, obviously, and we have this Coleman. But this is expiring in 13 hours. So what's going to happen is that's going to be replaced by a freeze card. Now, whoever the freeze card is, if they give a decent selection here, you're going to be able to buy the cards that are used in multiple objectives. So you see how this is? It says assistant 15 used in Bundesliga players. Every single one is Bundesliga players. But the thing that separates it is with minimum 4-star skill moves. So you can take a look at 4-star skill move players and, kind of pacey players, wing players, midfielders, attackers. And what ended up happening is guys like Rashika went up in price on that Friday. Vinicius the week before, when it came to the Rodrigo SBC, or objective, sorry. So you'll be able to kind of trade with those cards if you mass buy at 6. I can't tell you, obviously, who's going to be getting an objective, so I can't tell you who to buy right now. But I will say that you definitely can be looking at the objective in multiple players that are usable within that objective. And one last thing, obviously, is kind of just monitor these top tier cards on the market. If Neymar drops down like really low in the morning time tomorrow, you guys could probably look at picking some of these cards up for your teams, if you need them for this weekend league. Like if you see Neymar in the low 700s, you're gonna see guys like Son, like Rashford, Werner, Joe Gomez. They're gonna probably drop back down with the pack supply today, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Cards going back into packs like Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, obviously. And the last thing to look at for me, and I just had it, and I'm trying to think of what it is right now. I don't know why I can't think of it. I'm trying to think. What was I gonna look at? Oh, trading with the freeze cards. So there's gonna be a point in the day where they just get too low, and we do this a lot when it's the first day specials. But there was a time, last week where Haaland just got too cheap, and he got down to like 300,000 coins. Got picked up right away. He went back up to like 340, 350, and you were able to sell the card for some decent profit. You're just going to have to monitor how low these guys keep going and going and going before you buy these cards, these first day freeze cards, to be able to flip them a little bit later on when the supply dries up. And also, one last thing on these Team of the Group Stage cards. I can't tell you for sure if these cards are going to rebound out of packs or not. I will say, though, that some of them are actually doing really good right now. Like this Kevin De Bruyne's 435. This guy was 400k earlier today. I kind of missed the boat because I needed him for my team. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I do think you are going to see these cards rise as long as the content isn't insane. And you will be able to see them rise into next week as well, most likely. As they get more rare, they should go up a little bit further. If we get insane content, then obviously these are the first cards to get sold off because they are the newest cards that people have bought. So that's kind of the risk in that. But I hopefully, you guys were helped in this video. Make sure you guys do like the video. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll talk to you guys in video soon. Peace out.